Chicos, buenas tardes. Vamos a comenzar nuestra clase número 18. Esta es la segunda. Segunda means second. We haven't studied the ordinal numbers yet. You know the cardinal numbers, the usual numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we don't know first, second, third. Well, now you know. I'm mentioning segunda, second. Esta es la segunda clase de esta semana, the second class for this week. Uh, Last week, uh, we revised the vocabulary and grammar corresponding to Unit 4. And today, we will kinda revise, practice the oral expression corresponding to Unit 4 also. Why I am saying kinda? Because remember that as you guys say, I talk too much and I didn't have time to cover el presente de los verbos regulares, the present of regular verbs, which is, guys, on a serious basis, one of the most important and problematic stuff that Spanish grammar has. So yeah, so easy. Oh my gosh, I never had problems. I work. How do you say trabajar or work? And how do you say yo trabajo? I work. Tú trabajas, you work. Nosotros trabajamos, we work. Ellos trabajan, they work. Oh God, so you don't change the verb. Yeah, we do change the verb. My English teacher. We say he, she, it works. We add an S. I was like, you, I tell you something wrong with you. I mean, not out loud. Because the change of the verb, your conjugation is just add the letter S for he, she, or it. Oh God, in Spanish is far more complicated than that. Not complicated. This is not complicated. It's just that there are different endings for each one of the grammatical persons. For yo, I, uh, you have to change the original verb, which we call infinitive. We have to change the infinitive and add certain ending. For to, you, same thing. The ending is not the same ending than we use for yo. For él or ella, he or she, the ending is different. So we keep the root of the verb, the main part, but we change the ending for each one of the persons. That makes it. Don't tell me that complicated. I use the word complicated and I was regretting just now to use it because it's not complicated. It's that you cannot be lazy and you have to end, which are the 6 endings for each one of the 3 type of verbs that we have in Spanish. So you have to learn 6 by 3, 18 endings. I'm lying again. You only have to learn 6 because as you learn the first set, the other 2 are easily to figure out. I'm lying again. You don't have to learn 6 because the last 2 will always be the same. So you will always have to learn 5 simple, innocent endings. But let's go to our business right away. El presente de los verbos regulares, the present of regular verbs. And then our regular class that we were supposed to have today, practicing the interviews that we have for this unit 4. I mean, the set of questions that we studied in this unit that you need to know how to answer for the oral exam if you want to put it in that way. So let's go to the part that we didn't have to finish in the last class. The present of regular verbs. You have to be aware of 2 things. We are only studying regular verbs now. Will we study irregular verbs in this course? Yes, we will. 17 irregular verbs, actually. But that will not be now. So let's not worry about the future. We are going to study now regular verbs. And we will only study the present, simple present, you would say in English. In Spanish, we simply say presente. In English, you have different tenses. Simple present, present progressive, present perfect progressive, simple past, past progressive, past perfect, past perfect progressive, simple future, um, future progressive, a future perfect, and future perfect progressive. You have 12 tenses in English. So probably you were not aware of that, but you do. But it's very easy. Oh God, what's the future in English? You just add will in front of the thing and done. What's the present? You just use the verb as it is. What's the past? You add ed or the most. Some verbs speak, spoke. Um, Quite a few irregular verbs. So English conjugation is very easy, not Spanish though. So be aware of two things before I start. First, we are going to deal now with regular verbs only. And second, we are going to study the present. We are going to study how to say, let's say, I speak Spanish. Yo hablo español. I cook chicken curry. Yo cocino pollo al curry. Things like that. Things that I'm doing at the moment. Not exactly at the moment of speaking, because that would be present continuous. Like we do like daily, normally in the present. That's why we call it present. So one thing that you need to know, how you do it in English. How can you go to study something in Spanish that you don't have an idea of what we are talking about? So we are talking about this. This is what we are going to study in Spanish. So you have one verb to speak, and though you just say speak, the actual infinitive, the original verb is to speak. Without to is not the verb. It's just the verb form of the verb, or the base form of the verb. The verb is to speak, to cook, to walk, to talk, to talk. Sorry. Well, that's one thing. So how you conjugate to speak in simple present? You just drop to and you add it to the different, how you call it, pronouns. So it, drop to, remain speak, and then you add it to I speak. You add it to you speak. You add it to we speak. You add it to you, like you all, you speak. You add it to they speak. For he, she, it, you just add the letter S to speak, to the base form of the verb, speak. So you say speaks, and that's it. Story done. Oh God, that class was one of my easiest class, one of my easiest classes when I was studying English. This is going to be it's gonna be the way around, the other way around for you now when you are studying it in Spanish. Don't be afraid though. I'm telling you, it's quite a few things to remember, but it's not difficult. It's not difficult at all in Spanish. So first thing that you have to know to conjugate verbs in Spanish in present, past, future, conditional, subjunctive, indicative, whatever. The first thing that you have to know is that what it is, the infinitive of the verbs for you, like to speak, to walk, to cook, to travel. So that to form in Spanish uh, is a little bit different. In Spanish, uh, the verbs, the infinitive, that to speak, to walk, to whatever, is what we call infinitive. If you don't want me to use complicated grammatical terminology, I will simply say the original form of the verb, or the original verb. So the original verb in Spanish, how you know that we are dealing with one original verb in Spanish? Infinitive is a technical word, because the verb has to end in er, er, or IR. We will see that just now, these three endings. So this one, hablar. Remember that the B in the middle of the word sounds like you put the two lips together and you let your flow comes out without any difficulty. It not ba. Don't say hablar. I can't even pronounce it. Hablar. 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 See that I can even say hablar. So hablar. Hablar means to speak. So the ending AR is like the two that you put in front of your infinitive in English, in front of your original verbs in English. So the part that is not the ending is called stem. I used to say stem. I remember, and when we were still face to face, was in my first or second course, and it was a guy, tall Portuguese guy, very serious, but very good person. We are friends now. I'm a friend of his father right now too, and so he used to move the when you are nervous, some people move the leg, and I was like, one, two, and myself, this is the steam of the verbs, and everybody said that I say steam. So he could, so it's like he couldn't hold it anymore. He says, "Sir, it's not. Please, sir, I understand, but it is not steam. It's stem." So sometimes I don't I'm not even sure if it's remember if it's stem or stem. So that's why sometimes I say just root, which is a word that I mean that's a word I don't have any problem pronouncing root. So stem or root. Uh, the part that is not the ending is the stem or the root. Doesn't matter, like the root of a tree. And the last part is the ending. The. Mhm. So all the Spanish infinitive, the original verbs, before I conjugate them. Remember that the technical word is infinitive, though I will say original verb sometimes just to make your life easy, but the actual word is infinitive. So all the Spanish infinitive have two parts, the root and the ending, the stem and the end. So I just told you that there are three types of endings in Spanish, which means that there are three types of verbs in Spanish. The and see that what I'm going to say right now, you, oh God, you will hate me because you will hear me saying this like 3 million times from now on, 3 million times more. So the AR verbs, the ER verbs, and the IR verbs. So that means that there are certain verbs which infinitive ends in AR, other group of verbs which infinitive ends in ER, and a third group of verbs which infinitive ends in IR. Sometimes we call it first conjugation verbs, second conjugation verbs, and third conjugation verbs. So in Spanish, verbos de la primera conjugación, verbos de la segunda conjugación o verbos de la tercera conjugación. So it's up to you. In English, when you teach English to foreigners, normally you just say AR, ER, or IR verbs. So example of AR verbs. Look, right there, below the thing. Ayudar, to help, caminar, to walk, escuchar, to listen, hablar, to speak, trabajar, to work, viajar, to travel. See, all of those infinitives ends in AR. Why I'm saying infinitive and not verb? Because the original verb, before I conjugate it, like in English, you put to in front of your original verbs, to speak, to come, to go. So we call those infinitive. ER verbs. Some examples right there. Look. You can see them below the big ER with the two hands and the two legs. Aprender, to learn. Beber, to drink. Oh, you do like this, but we do like this. Look. We put the finger like thumbs up, and we point it to the mouth. That means to drink for Spanish people. We don't. I don't know. I not even know. This is something weird. It's like you are starting your motorcycle. I don't know. So I understand it now. I've been living here for almost 10 years, but we do like this. Look, see? And open your mouth, of course. That means drink. Eat, drink. Comer, to eat. Comprender, like comprehend, but it's actually understand. Probably you have heard no comprendo, no comprendo. I don't understand. Correr, run, responder, answer. And finally, example of IR verbs. Well, we have different infinitive. Abrir, open. Describir, describe. Dividir, split or divide. Escribir, to write. Recibir, to receive. Like you guys are waiting to recibir the KFC from Shane. Y vivir, leave it there. Vivir, which means to live. Like vivo en Guyana. I live in Guyana. Good. So we good to go, right? So question. Let me go back to the previous slide. How many parts a Spanish infinitive, the infinitive is the original verb before I conjugate it. How many parts Spanish infinitive has? One part, two parts, like in English, to speak, that's two parts. Three parts, four parts. How many parts? Right there.
Sir, 2 parts?
Perdón, Kalia?
Sir, 2?
You were saying surfer. That was I could understand. Exacto. Dos partes. Dos partes. And how we call those two parts? Like raíz y terminación. How you say that in English? The name of the two parts?
The stem and ending?
The stem and the end. So far, so good. But there are only AR verbs in, a question. This is a yes or no question, not you, Kalia, other person. I love you. You know that that's not the reason. It's because I want that the others break the ice too, right? Sorry, my dear. There are all the verbs in Spanish ends in AR, yes or no. Yes or no, period. Hello. Hola. Question. All
No, sir.
the, what do you say, Anton? Perdón?
No.
No. It's a big no. Now, next question. How many endings Spanish infinitive have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 1 million.
Stress.
Tres. Exacto. Tres. So there are three different types of verbs in Spanish. The so-called AR verbs, ER verbs, and the IR verbs. So everybody understand that? No, that was not the right statement. Is there anybody who is not understanding what we're talking about so far? Please, I will start over. I'll start over, but I can go back. Anybody who don't really understand and want me to go back a little bit, please? This is very, I was going to say complicated again. Let me find another word. Troublesome, probably. I don't know. Confusing sometimes. So it's good you to understand since the very beginning. Anybody who is not understanding anything like how many parts verbs have, what is the ending, what is stem, what is AR, ER, IR. Somebody's not understanding, please. I don't care about the other. Don't care about you about the rest of people. Don't care about the world. Care about you and your grade and your big fat juicy A that you want to get at the end of the course. Anybody is not understanding? Good. I will take that as a Everybody's understanding. Well, my gems, let's how you call it, brush up a little bit the Spanish pronouns. So let me do it like in writing. So and let me cover this. I should have opened a whiteboard, but anyhow, okay. You remember that in Spanish, though we have it, we don't really use it too much, right? Em, ¿Cómo se dice hay en español?
Dice yo.
Se dice yo, yo. ¿Cómo se dice you informally, friends, colloquially?
Se dice tú.
Se dice tú. ¿Cómo se dice he en español?
Se dice él.
Se dice él. Y she se dice
Ella.
ella. So perfect. So these are uh, the four Spanish pronouns in singular. So only one person. Now let's see the same but in plural. I don't know why. When I leave in some space to write, and I know that I have to type something there, I don't know. I type GGG, GGG. See, I don't know, since I was a kid, it's like, I know when I see GGG is that I have to write something there. So this is one of my madness. Though. Now, ¿cómo se dice we en español? And there is a male we and a female we.
Se dice nosotros.
And female we?
Nosotras.
Perfecto. Nosotros, nosotras. Now, how do we say you like you guys, you all?
Está.
Almost, almost. Ustedes, ustedes, ustedes. And how do you say, what's the plural of he, like they, but for a group of men? I'm being wicked. I should have covered. Look. All are here.
Sir, ellos, sir.
Perfect, perfecto, Shane. Ellos and they for a group of female, just like ellos, but changing one letter.
Ellos.
Muy bien, Shane. Ellos, ellas. Bien. So that's the next thing that you need to remember. Actually, let me delete the English thing and leave the Spanish pronouns. Okay, good. Look, look this beauty. Look this beauty. The Spanish personal pronouns. Yo, tú only one, you, él, he, ella, she, nosotros, nosotras, we. Oh my God, that sounds in French. We in French is si, yes. So we and we, because it's the same. Nosotros is we, women, eh, sounding like women. We, the men. And nosotras is we, the women. Okay? Nosotros, nosotras. I just write /s. I don't have to write the whole word. Let me do it though. I know you. Good. Ajá. Now, ustedes is you all. You see? You have to make up things in Spanish, in English, when you want to say you all, y'all, you guys, you both. We don't have to make up anything. We just have an actual pronoun for that. This is one of the good things about Spanish, that we have a pronoun for the plural of you. So you don't have to make up anything. You just say ustedes and there's no confusion. Ustedes is you, but everybody of you, like the plural of you. Eh, I should have a wait. Oh God. Oh, I press insert. I'm blindly pressing keys. That's why I don't see when I am pressing caps lock or insert or whatever. Let me see. Let me double check. Yo, tú, él, ella, nosotros, nosotros. Good. So, see. I wonder how many of you are in front of the phone, laptop, desktop computer, writing down. I honestly no. See, I'm not lecturing you. It's I've always been curious about because remember that I just finished my doctorate, my PhD. Do you think that I you think that I didn't put the class and I turned off the Tirangalan to do me way? Everybody do that. And I know that some of you can do it. But there are good students that not like me, probably Kalia, I don't know, just taking you an example. I mean, maybe you galan to do your way too, but anyhow, so who is just writing, and that's a lovely thing. I wonder how many of you guys are doing that. I can be surprised though. Anyhow, you write down the personal pronouns in Spanish, right? Yo, in the same order than in English. I, you, he, she, yo, tú, él, ella. We, you, all, they, nosotros, nosotras, ustedes, ellos y ellas. Question. There is a female you all and a masculine you all? This is a yes no question. There is a female you all and a masculine you all in Spanish?
No, sir.
No, no, definitely no. You see, it's just ustedes. So I'm going to erase this drawing, right? I'm going to erase this. Actually, you know what? I should have. That's gonna be for the next batch next year. So add a slide after which one? After 6 with Spanish personal pronouns. That's gonna be for next year, and that will save me time. So we go to go. Now we have the verb to speak, which is hablar in Spanish. Remember that the unconjugated verb, the virgin verb, the original pristine verb is called infinitive. Infinitivo, we say in Spanish. So infinitivo is the verb before I conjugate it. In English, the infinitive is to speak. In Spanish, hablar. So, okay. How I conjugate hablar? Do you remember the root and the ending, or the stem and the ending? Yes, you do. So what's the first thing? There are three things that you need to know to conjugate a verb in Spanish. First, you have to drop the ending. What's the ending of the verb hablar? This is an actual question. The ending is AR, ER or IR?
AR.
AR. Perfect. So that's the first thing that you have to check, and you have to just drop it. Doesn't exist. Scratch it out. So the remaining part, HABL, like able, that's that is the what? Able, like the infinitive
The
without the ending,
stem.
the stem. So the only thing, don't bother about the ending. The ending no more important no more. So the stem. And you have to write the stem 6 times. 3 times on the left, 3 times on the right. So you write able, look, able, 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 able. You see? The stem 3 times on the left, 3 times. You can write it just 6 times, one on top of the other. I mean, the first, then below, 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 below. But it's better this way. Why? Because on the left, you are going to conjugate the singular, and on the right, you are going to conjugate the plural. So eventually, you will see that. I mean, in further classes, I will put uh, uh, all one below the other, like the six, one below the other. But for starting, I will do it like this. We will do it like this. So first thing, drop the ending. In this case, AR. Second thing, write the stem 6 times. And the third thing can be the hardest, but why the hardest? Because you have to remember which are the 6 endings for the AR verbs. And there are songs for that. O, as, a, amos, an. O, as, a, amos, an. O, as, a, amos, an. I will not even try to sing. I don't remember if in the classes, this is class 15. In class 15, video class 15, I put any song. I don't really remember. There are really nice songs. I was watching one last night that if I didn't include it in the video class, I cannot now because I will have to change many things and links and everything. But if somebody wants, I can ask me the link and remind me, and I will send you the link. I will send it to the group. So you do remember, O, as, a, amos, an. O, as, a, amos, an. But not in this boring way that I'm telling you. It's really catchy, really catchy. Like this Spanish vowels have one sound, and this is how they go. A, E, I, O, U, A, E. So very catchy. That O, as, a, amos, an song is really catchy. So for yo, I add O. Just O. Hablo. Hablo. I speak. So remember this term hablo, the first time that you wrote it? Well, then you add the letter O, which is the ending for yo, I. And you have hablo. So what's the ending? The endings are in red. What's the ending? Look right here. What's the ending for you? Probably you don't want to say. Yeah, I was thinking that probably you don't want to say because sounds, So, es, as. So, hablas. 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 What hablas means?
You speak.
You speak. Now let's go to the he or she. So, look, the ending for he or she is just one letter. A. Remember that the E is A. I'll say. The ending is the letter, we pronounce it in Spanish, A. So, what? Habla. Habla. Habla is what? What is habla? This one here. So I speak, you speak, and the next one is what?
He
He
or
or she
She or he speaks. Now, the will. The ending for the will is amos, A-M-O-S. So what is nosotros or we? Hablamos, hablamos. What is hablamos? Hablamos.
We speak.
We speak. Now the you all. The ending is an. What is hablan? Hablan.
You all speak.
You guys speak. You all speak. And the last one is the same. They speak. Hablan. Funny thing. Those who have studied Spanish before, I've told you one that more time. Even in your textbook, they use the form vosotros that they use in Spain. Vosotros, guys, because in Spain they have two you all. They have ustedes, that is you all informal, eh, you all formal, and they have vosotros, that is you all informal. Like tú, usted in singular, they have two you in plural. But they only use that in the north and part of the center of Spain. In the entire south of Spain, in the Canary Islands that belong to Spain, and in the 19 Spanish-speaking countries here in Spanish America, I'm talking about 90% of the Spanish speakers do not use vosotros. So why I'm going to teach you vosotros? If I would teach you vosotros, here, instead of hablan, I would be teaching you oh, habláis. So because the ending for vosotros is ais. So you would really have to learn 6 endings for each one of the type of verb. First, what I'm gonna punish you with that. If only 10% of Spanish speakers, and you most likely will not know not even one person out of that 10% of Spanish speakers in the north of Spain use that, why I will punish you teaching you the vosotros. And they teach it here in most secondary schools. Not to say in all the secondary schools when they teach Spanish, they use the vosotros habláis, vosotros coméis, vosotros vivís, which I consider a crime. But anyhow, it's not my place to say that. Well, it's actually my place, but not here. And I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, and I always with my disclaimers because you know that we old people, in Spanish we say, más sabe el diablo por viejo que por diablo. Like the devil know best for being old than for actually being devil. So old people know best. And I just always want to avoid any type of conflict. I'm not saying that Guyanese Spanish teachers or Spanish teachers who teach Spanish in Guyana, either Guyanese, Cuban, Venezuelan, Chinese, or whoever teach Spanish in Guyana in the secondary school are bad teachers. I've never said that. I'm just saying that to me, it's a stupidity that whoever wrote the books that they use in Guyana for teaching Spanish and in the entire Caribbean, because that same dime, that same vive, that same chévere that they use in Guyana, the Bayans use it, the St. Lucians use it, they use it in Trinidad. Though they have a new set of books in Trinidad, but that's another pair of shoes. They use it in the entire Caribbean. So it's not only you, it's the entire Caribbean. I consider it stupidity that they teach something that only 10% of the population of the Spanish speaking world use just for clock your brain with additional stuff that are definitely unnecessary. But anyhow, those who have never studied Spanish, who have never studied Spanish before don't have a clue what I'm talking about. But anyhow, point I'm trying to make, guys, the last two forms of the verbs will always be the same. Always. Why? because the conjugation for ustedes, you all, and the ending for ustedes, you all, and the ending for ellos, ellas, male they, female they, is the same. So, and as I am not teaching the pronoun vosotros, the last two will always be the same. And this is one of the times that I can proudly say and responsibly say always. It will always be the same. So yeah. And guys, you have to learn the endings. O in red. Those things in red. O, as, a, amos, an. And I don't say an because the last two is the same. So o, as with one S only. Laugh all you want. But for not clarifying this, many students, I remember one brilliant student lose the 100% in one exam because every time that she had to conjugate the verb for you, she used to put for example, for aulas, she used to spell HABLESS. Just because I had that taboo and I did. And then if we are adults, what's the problem? That as for the ending for to you is a with only one s. Period. Who died? So the third ending is just a, the letter e that we read a in Spanish. So now here, amos and. And you have to learn these guys like a poem. O as a amos an. 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 So some of you are like confused. Some of you who are really good students are really crying now and say, "Oh, I will never remember that." Just relax. Oh, and there are 12 more endings ahead. Just relax and trust me. Do you trust me? Oh, that reminds me the movie Aladino. How you say Aladino in English? Aladdin, 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 Aladino. How you say Aladino? The cartoon, the movie in English.
Aladdin.
Aladdin. Oh, well, that's remind me. Not the last movie Aladdin, the actual cartoon that he tells the princess, do you trust me? And that's how she realized that he's Aladdin in the future. No, Aladdin. Aladdin, you say, right? Don't teach me wrong pronunciation, by the way. Uh, and then I say a mistake, but I trust you. If I trust somebody, it's you. Now, how I conjugate the ER verbs? Same three steps. One, drop the ending. In this case, the ending is ER. Do you remember the three types of endings, right? AR, ER, IR. Good. So we are with the ER now. One example of one ER verb is to eat, comer, comer. So the first step is dropping the ending. And what's the result? Surprise! Com, like in gmail.com, whatever.com, com. Or like, or like in one communication, no, that is COMM. Anyhow, com. Second step, you have to write com 6 times. Com, 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 com. 3 on the left, 3 on the right. Mm-hmm. And the third part is add the corresponding endings. Sorry. It's not O as a amos an anymore. Now it's O S A amos n. Are you seeing the similarity, guys? O as a amos an. Just close your eyes. O as a amos an. O S A amos n. Again. O as a amos an. O S A amos n. Are you seeing a pattern? Are you actually seeing a pattern? Look, the ending for the air verbs. O, actually, that's the same for yo, I, for the three type of verbs. O is always the same. So don't bother about that one. That will never change. So, o, as, a, amos, an. Let me type it on top of this thing. O, as, a, amos, an. But look this new set of endings. Remember that the E is A in Spanish. So, O, es, hemos, en. So you are gonna tell me right on my face that you are not seeing a pattern there? Okay. For the air verbs, don't bother about the O. That will always be the same. O. For the air verbs, the U ending is as. And what is the U ending for the ER verbs? Es. A, e, IMOS, EMOS, hemos, amos, an, en. You don't see a pattern, guys? These are the same endings of the ER verbs that these are not ER verbs. These are ER verbs. So instead of I use E. Are you still alive? So, o, as, a, amos, an for the AR verbs. Right, right on the bottom. O, as, a, amos, an. Now, which are the endings for the ER verbs? O, es, hemos, en. See? Whenever there is an in the AR verbs, there is an E in the ER verbs. So, do you actually have to learn the ending for the ER verbs? No, you don't. Just learn the o, as, a, amos, and you good. Because you know that for the ER verbs, instead of you use E and done. So, come plus the first ending o, como means I eat. Come plus the second ending for the ER verbs es, comes, you eat. Come, come with the third ending for the ER verbs. Come, C-O-M-E, come, he or she eats. Now, comemos, the second column, comemos is what? Who eats or who eat?
We.
We eat. The second one, ustedes comen. That means what? Ustedes comen.
You all.
You all eat. And finally, ellos or ellas comen is what?
They eat.
They eat.
They.
So, you see? I don't see it hard. I'm not sure you. But let's go. How hard or not hard are the six endings for the IR verbs? Look, I'm going to type here, right here below, the endings for the ER verbs, right? So the endings are o, es, hemos, en. Oh, two mistakes. That remember, you can deduct from the AR verbs. So you can deduct the endings for the ER verbs from the AR verbs. Now, these are the endings for the ER verbs. O, es, hemos, en. Now, um, what's the ending for I, yo, for the ER verbs? Same O. What's the ending for you, to? Same S. What's the ending for he or she? Same E. I'm saying E because remember that in Spanish, E is E. I'm skipping this stupid naughty one. So what's the ending for you all? N. And obviously the last one is N2. So what's the only one that is not the same? Which is the only ending in the IR verbs that is not the same? The we ending. But see how different it is, how, oh my God, how hard it is to remember this. For the ER verbs, the we ending is EMOS. But what's the we ending for the IR verbs? IMOS. You don't see it? For the ER verb, the we form is EMOS because correspond to the ER verb. But for the IR verb, the corresponding ending for we is IMOS. Why I and not E? Because it's an IR verb. Duh. Now relax, breathe, put the best smile on your face, and let me go to the next slide. These are the 16 endings. Oh my, I'm such a liar. These are not 16 endings. These are just 5 endings. These are just 5 endings. Why? Because you need to remember this, and this. Why you don't have to remember the last one? So let me see if you are following me. Why you don't have to remember the last ending? Oh my God, this doesn't take brains. This doesn't takes to be a rocket scientist. Why you don't have to remember the last one? See just the one below.
Sir, because you all and they all are the same thing and they're both plural.
Exactly because the last two will always be the same. That's why you don't need to remember the last one. The sixth, the number 6 will always be like the number 5. So you always need to remember o, as, a, amos, an. The 5 endings or the 6 endings, if you want to put it in that way, because it's actually o, as, a, amos, an, but why I'm gonna say an, like I don't know why. The last two will always be the same. So just o, as, a, amos, an. Now, who can tell me now that hypothetically speaking, we learn the 6 endings for the AR verbs. How you get the 6 endings for the ER verbs? I'm gonna
Sir,
close.
could you please repeat?
Yes, love, no problem. So you already learned the 6 endings for the AR verbs, right? O, as, a, amos, an. Now, how I can deduct the 6 endings for the ER verbs? Now that we already know, hypothetically speaking, we already know, remember, memorize the 6 endings for the ER verbs.
Sir, WO is a emos in the same
Yep.
thing as and
Uh-huh. You are in the perfect right path, in the perfect right way, Shane. Uh, Similar the ER ends are similar to the AR verbs, but similar how or different how? Why I just change in the ER verbs?
So because they both refer to they.
Look, if you don't bother about the first one because the first one O will be the ending for all. So don't bother about the O. So uh,
All A's are changed to E.
yes, that's the thing. So whenever you have the A in the AR verb, what you have in the ER verb? The E. You see AS, what do you see in the ER verbs? ES. So you see A, here you see E. Here you see AMOS, here you see EMOS. Here you see AN, here we see EN. AN, EN. So the IR verbs, guys, are exactly, the endings for the ER verbs are exactly the same endings that the AR verbs have. The only difference is that instead of A, I write E because the AR verbs takes A, but the ER verbs takes E. So just remember O as a, amos, and you will remember O es e, hemos, en. Just changing the E to E. I'm not sure if you are seeing it, but to me it's so clear. Now, from the ER, how I get the IR is even easier. How from these ER endings I get the, or I can remember the IR endings because are
So
they are
you
just
just replace the A and the E with I because it's IR.
well in this case it's even simpler, Shane. It's even simpler. So for the IR verbs,
The
yeah,
IR verb, if you look at it, all of them are same excepting for the emos where you switch out the A or the E for I.
exactly,
But if you look at the ER verbs and the IR verbs, the rest of verbs are the same.
exactly, guys. I don't know how. Okay, I had already said it, but it's so obvious. You see, O, O, S, S, E, E, N, 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 N. There is only one that is different, the we form. For the ER, the we form is E, M, O, S. E, M, O, S. But what's the we form for the IR verbs? I, M, O, S. I, M, O, S. So you memorize the AR endings for the AR verbs. You don't need to memorize the set of endings for ER or the set of endings for IR. Why? Because for the ER verbs, the set of endings are exactly like the AR, just changing the E to E. See? O, as, a, amos, an for the AR verbs. O, es, e, hemos, en for the ER verbs. So from here to here, the only thing is you have to replace the E to E. That's it. Brother, buenas tardes, disculpa, estoy en clases ahora mismo. Tan pronto tenga un break, te llamo acá. Dale un abrazo, cuídate. Um, you say, despite how fast we speak in Spanish, that's a friend from Cuba too, but we use many English words in Spanish, like brother, break. Of course, we pronounce it the Spanish way, but we use them. Yeah. And then, if you already realize that you can memorize easily, or not memorize, you can deduct easily the set of endings for the ER verbs from the AR, just changing the A to E. Now you are ready to deduct the IR endings. How? Are exactly the same as the ER. O, S, N, N. There is only one that is different. The we form. The we form is EMOS for the ER verbs, but IMOS for the IR verbs. Guys, I don't think I can explain you in the easiest way. But anyways, anybody, okay. I cannot have, well, I could have two slides at the same time, but some of you are using a phone, so it's gonna be very small. That's why I do need you to write down these endings. I want to believe that you guys are using, like in the old times, pen and paper, because we are gonna do an activity now, and you will need to have these endings, and you will see that it's not hard at all. So please, I would love you to write down that the six endings for the AR verbs, just in that order. AR, OASA, AMOSAN, ER, OSE, EMOSEN, IR, OSE, IMOSEN. Actually, if you go, look, this is the actual textbook Dos Mundos, the printed one. Expensive and I had to buy two. This is a teacher edition, and I bought the instructor edition plus the workbook. An arm and a leg. But anyhow, this, you know how much money I take from this book? So if you go to pages 54 and pages, but you don't have the book, that's the next thing. You have the PDF, and only God knows where you have it right now. So pages 54 and pages 77. In page 54, you have the ending for the AR verbs. And in page 77, you have the ending for the ER and IR, because they teach it in two different chapters. We teach it in the same unit, in the same class. So anyhow, let's do the activity. Enough time to pamper you. Translate the highlighted part of these sentences into Spanish. The rest is not important. Use the verbs montar, ride, escuchar, listen to, leer, read, cocinar, cook, viajar, travel. So let's do the first together. And I will give you, no, I cannot give you nothing because we have to do the actual oral expression part, which is very important and was the actual today's class. So I ride my bicycle. A ride is montar. Ajá. Who can tell me the six endings for the AR verbs? Well, O will always be for all. O,
O,
Ah,
as,
O,
amosan.
amosan. Oasa, amosan. And and twice, because it's and for you all and for they. So I ride. Which of these six, guys, is the same order that in English? I, you, he, she, we, you all, they. Which one of these six endings correspond to yo, I?
O,
oh,
Oh, so what is the first thing that I do to conjugate a verb?
We deduct the ending.
Get rid of the ending. Good. And then you have to copy the stem 6 times, but you don't really need to copy the stem 6 times because we just need one conjugation. And we can skip that part because the second part would be copy the stem 6 times and add the endings. But we already have the endings here. Which one you told me that is the ending again for yo?
Oh,
Oh, so monto. How do you say? Don't tell me you don't know because this you even answered that in the exam. How do you say bicycle? Bis.
Bicicleta.
Good. And how you say my?
Me.
Good. I ride my bike.
Yo monto mi.
Well, it was too quick, but I'm guessing that you meant yo monto mi bicicleta. Every morning, cada mañana. That's that important. One important thing. In Spanish, guys, you don't need to say the personal pronoun. You don't need to say yo, tú, él, ella. You can, nothing wrong with that. But let me tell you, I told you that in another class. If actually you say yo monto mi bicicleta, that sounds like somebody's buffing and say, I have a car, I have a Toyota, the other one, I have a Mercedes, the other one has a BWB, the other one has a Land Rover, and everybody has a more expensive car. And everybody turn to you and say, what brand is your car? And you say, but you are like ashamed, but at the same time you are pissed off. And you say, yo monto mi bicicleta. Okay, how you can translate that into English? Because in English you always use I. It's like you were saying, it's like I do ride my bloody bike, and I'm using just a not. I mean, I'm using the word that Guyanese wouldn't use, so you know. So it's something like that. So I mean, everybody knows that you guys are not like when I make mistakes in English, people just let it slide because they know that I'm a foreigner and I don't really mean it. But if you go to an advanced level of Spanish, so you have to know that when you use a personal pronoun, you always use it for a reason. When you say yo, you always have to have a reason to say yo, to make an emphasis in because you are vexed, because you are showing off, because whatever. So normally we just say monto mi bicicleta. But when you say Cali is that's perfect Spanish. Yo monto mi bicicleta. So any one of the two. Just a warning that guys, when you use the personal pronoun in Spanish, especially yo, the, I mean, people start getting suspicious because they say, what's wrong with he? What's wrong with she? What happened to he? What happened to she? So yes. Yo monto mi bicicleta. The second one, listen to. How do you say listen to again? Right there. How do you say listen to?
Es-
Leer. What's your wrong word?
How do you say listen to? Make up yourself, guys.
escuchar.
Escuchar. God, you need latches. So the good thing is that it's the same endings because I tell you, it's an AR verb too. So it's the same endings. So first thing I do, I drop the ending AR, right? Just correct me. I just can't try to say wrong things to fool you and see if you are really understanding. So first thing is get rid of the ending, which is AR. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
And the second part is add the corresponding ending. You. So which one of these six would be you in English? I, you, he, she, we, you all, they. Which one would be the ending for you?
Us.
Good. And this is a question, laugh as much as you want, but I just want to teach you and educate you. Us with one S or us with two S's?
One.
One.
One. So, escuchas. So, you listen to is escuchas. How do you say Music. Just add the letter O. Remember,
Música.
good, perfect. Remember that I told you that I have a friend that says that Spanish is the easiest language, but because we thief all the English word and we add the letter O at the end. I mean, that's just an exaggeration, but not most of the time, but a few times, yeah. So you just add the O and you will have the Spanish word. So music, música. Well, in this case it's an E. O-E, potato, potato. So how do you say you listen to music again?
Tú escuchas músicas.
Perfecto. Tú escuchas música. Or you can also say, instead of tú escuchas música, how you can say tú? Also,
Escuchas.
escuchas música.
Escuchas.
Perfecto. So you can say, tú escuchas música or simply escuchas música without the tú, without the personal pronoun. It's up to you. Well, in the car, any guess? How you say in the car? Oh God, I think you can say in the car. I should have highlighted that part.
En el carro.
En el car. So how you say you listen to music in the car?
Escuchas música.
You mute your phone too quick, girl. You're hitting the last part.
Escuchas música en el carro.
Bien, perfecto. Escucha, perfecto, Galia. Awesome, great. Escuchas música en el carro. The third one, leer. And this is the only one that we're going to do, and we will move to oral expression. Leer. So what's the ending here?
ER.
ER. And what I do with that ER?
Drop it.
Drop it, period. So the root is le. Which are the endings for the ER verbs again? What I have to do to the ER endings? Change what to what?
E to E.
E to E. So E, 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 E. So read it in Spanish. O, es, e, hemos, en. So which one of these is the ending for he or she? Which is what we need to know. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Sir, S.
No, love. S is for you, tú.
A.
E is, well, in English, E, in Spanish, which is for he or she. Remember, this is for I, this is for you, the third one for he or she, just like in English. The fourth one for we, the fifth one for you all, and the sixth one, which is the same, for they. So again, just I want to be sure which one is the ending for he.
A.
E. E. I mean the English letter E that we read E. So quick question, I just add the E to the verb, or you find any reason why we shouldn't add the E?
I think you have.
We do add the E period. Why? Because it's two is together. So, oh, but we don't read it. Li. In Spanish, you have to read the two S. So, le. One E, le. Le. L-E is le. The two is le. 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 Who can tell me le like one E and le? Le. Le. Who wanna try? Le doesn't have anything to do with read. It does another thing, but that's a word that exists in Spanish. So who can read? Le, le. Come on, try.
Le. Le.
You did it from 1 to 10, 10 the best. You did it 9. Almost perfect. A little bit short, but I heard it. I heard the twist. Otra persona. Who wanna try and say le, le?
Le.
Perfecto. Now you have 10 love. Otra persona.
Le. Le.
Perfecto, David. Perfecto, perfecto, perfecto. So the three of you did it great. Shane was a little bit, but this is just how I say it in Spanish speaking fast. Le, le. So you just said it like a Spanish speaking fast. So perfect. So well, our business. He reads is lee or él lee, whatever. How you say a book? A book. Only un book.
Un libro.
Libro.
And a book would be
Un libro.
El libro.
un libro. A book, un libro. El libro is the book. Muy bien. So how you can say he reads a book?
Él lee un libro.
Okay, Mahindra, you can say it, and then Shen, you will say it, and then we will compare and see if both of you are correct. One is right, one is wrong. So Mahindra, go ahead, bye.
Él lee un libro.
Él lee un libro. What you will say, Shen?
The same thing.
Say the same thing. Same thing is not in Spanish.
Él lee un libro.
Perfect. Correct. And I have another question. Instead of él lee un libro, how can I say tú, which is shorter and even more natural in everyday Spanish?
Lee un libro.
Perfecto, Kalia. Lee un libro. Any one of the two are correct. Él lee un libro or lee un libro. So that's it, that's it, that's it. I'm leaving like I'm running away from this to the next class. Oh, guys, this I will send you this to the WhatsApp group right away because it's a crime that you don't. If somebody who want to practice the conjugation of the verbs don't have this, I think I am not to practice conjugation of oh God, of regular verbs in Spanish. When you are more in a hurry, the less you can do. Good. I sent I sent you the links to the WhatsApp group. Oh God. What is this now? Okay, now perfect. So these are two YouTube videos. I don't think I'm the worst teacher ever. I do consider myself probably I'm not being very humble, but I think I'm not the worst. But these two teachers in those YouTube videos, oh God, especially the one that called himself the gringo. Gringo is how we call Americans in South America, in Mexico. Cuba's not too much, but most people in South America, Central America, Mexico, and in Spain, not that much either. They call Americans gringos. That word has a history anyhow. So the one that called himself gringo, that teacher is awesome. And the first three links, well, just check the links. So the first three is for those who like reading. The last two is for those who prefer videos, but it's about the same. Oh, I see message on the group. I cannot see the messages now. So any quick question, guys? We only have 30 minutes for the oral expression. Any question about the conjugation of the verbs? I realize that for further classes, I will spend an entire class for this. Because imagine that this was part of the last class. So and it's basically this entire class. Anybody has any question about conjugating verbs? I mean, I know that you still are like, don't fully understand, and you know that you have to learn the endings of the verbs. Then you have to try to remember how to deduct the ER endings, and from the ER the IR endings. But it's not hard. You just saw that it's not hard at all. It's just that you have to study that. And remember to write down the pages on the book, 55 and 77. But you are going to see that the last two, like as an, and n are not the same. The second to last is going to be different in this book because in this book they explain the famous Spanish from Spain, vosotros. So don't bother too much about the book. Just use the book as a reference to try to understand the general thing, but use our PowerPoints. And actually, in class 15, I explained all this in detail. So video class 15 with videos, songs, exercises, activities, and so on. So oral expression. What was the oral expression that we studied in this unit 4? I was not that worried, and I was like taking my time explaining the conjugation of the regular verbs that we could have. I did not you. It was my fault. I'm totally blaming myself because I talked too much. I didn't have time in the other class. So why I was relaxing and taking my time to explain that? Because the oral expression in this unit is not too. So we just studied two interviews, two entrevistas. One named sus datos personales. Sounds familiar to you? Your personal information. In the previous class, we went over all these questions. So if anyone here from group 11, remember that I had to cancel the class because I had technical problems, watch the recording. So all these questions, you are going to see that are the same questions that we saw in Tuesday class. But actually, most of these questions are questions that we already knew. And I already asked you for the exam, like, ¿cómo te llamas? ¿Cuál es su nombre? ¿Dónde vive usted? And so on. Just adding a few more. ¿And qué te gusta hacer? What do you like to do? So let's go straight to the first entrevista. Sus datos personales. Look, these are 7 questions that you need to know how to answer. Take a quick look and tell me how many. I will not be a trickster. Because I want to ask you how many you can answer. And you can say, I better don't say nothing because if I say 3, he will tell me, okay, answer. No, I will not do that. So how many of those questions you already know how to answer? Because we studied those questions already, not because you studied before in the secondary school or whatever. How many of those questions? So, ¿cómo se llama usted? We studied that question before, yes or no? ¿Sí o no?
Sí.
Sí.
Sí. ¿Cuál es su ciudadanía? No, that question is new for this unit. ¿Cuál es su fecha de nacimiento y cuál es su lugar de nacimiento? Those two are new too. ¿Cuál es su dirección? Address, that is new too. ¿Cuál es su teléfono? Well, we always said teléfono. Here is número de teléfono. Same thing. ¿Cuál es su teléfono? We studied that already or not?
Sí.
¿Sí?
Sí.
And ¿cuál es su estado civil? Not exactly, but you don't see the word casado, married, there, and soltero that I already taught you for the exam 1, even it was not compulsory from the first exam. You don't remember casado? What is casado? ¿Es usted
Married.
casado? ¿Ah? ¿Perdón? ¿Qué significa es usted casado?
Casado
Married.
means married, sir.
Good. Are you married? So the number 7, you can answer that question too. So let's focus more on the questions that we don't really know how to answer. ¿Cómo se llama usted? Bla, bla, bla. Me llamo Juan. Mr. Sin, ¿cómo se llama usted?
Me llamo Mahendra.
Mr. Boyce, why you were so quiet? Oh, you are in another class. Don't have to tell. ¿Cómo se llama usted?
Me llamo Karim.
Me llamo Karim, period. Miss Farrington, ¿cómo se llama usted?
Me llamo Kalia.
Y tú, Gibbs, usted, Gibbs, ¿cómo se llama usted, Miss Gibbs?
Me llamo Beyoncé.
Schumann, ¿cómo se llama usted?
Yo se, yo se llama Sequoia.
Me llamo, me llamo,
Sí, señor.
just say, me llamo, and then your name.
Me llamo Sequoia.
Perfecto. Me llamo, and then your name. Good. The second one. ¿Cuál es su ciudadanía? Oh God, we have all the foreign people here. The foreign people, like Guyanese say. Have all the foreign people here. So remember that you can say, soy cubano, es Cuban. Oh God, that's a, I don't know why when I shouldn't. I am Cuban, soy cubano, or mi nacionalidad es cubana. But you know that cubana is a female Cuban. So why I'm saying that? Because I'm coming out the closet right now in this class. It's for that reason that I'm saying mi nacionalidad es cubana, or there is another grammatical reason.
Sir, there's another reason.
Obviously, there's another reason. The reason is that nacionalidad is a feminine word. So when you say mi nacionalidad, me I'm talking about me, I am talking about my nationality. And nationality, like when I say tengo pelo negro. Well, I don't even have hair, but anyhow. Well, it's not actually black, it's brown. But if Rachel is going to say that she has black hair, she wouldn't say tengo pelo negra just because she's a female, because nobody cares about me, nobody cares about Rachel, nobody cares about nobody. We all care about the hair. And hair, which is pelo, is masculine. That's what you have to say, pelo negro. That's the same reason why you have to say mi nacionalidad es cubana, guyanesa. Um, no, because I'm thinking because if you're gonna say Trinidadian, it is Trinitense, which is the same for both, and Anglo-Virginense is the same for both. I don't like the one that you like. So Barbadiense is the same for both. So
Sir, could you repeat how we answer this question again?
¿cuál es su nacionalidad? ¿Cuál es su nacionalidad? What's your nationality? So you can say soy guyanés o soy guyanesa, or you can say mi nacionalidad es, and then you have to say it in feminine. So even if you are a boy and you are going to say that your nationality is Guyanese, you have to say mi nacionalidad es guyanesa. But for a boy that just say I am Guyanese, I am Barbadian, I am Saint Lucian, I am Cuban, I am Venezuelan, I am Mexican. That's it. That's the easiest thing. It's up to you though. So, Kalia, ¿cuál es su nacionalidad? Not because you are fighting, it's just because you are right below me.
Mi nacionalidad es anglo.
You mute your mic back too fast, girl.
Mi nacionalidad es anglo-virgeneses.
Mi nacionalidad es anglo-virginense. Mahindra, ¿cuál es su nacionalidad?
Soy Guyanese.
Soy guyanés. ¿Y tú, Joel, cuál es tu nacionalidad? Rachel, ¿cuál es tu nacionalidad?
Soy guyanesa.
Soy guyanesa. ¿Y tú, David, cuál es tu nacionalidad?
Mi nacional. Soy es
Good, you bet.
guyanés.
Soy guyanés, period.
Good.
Ciara, ¿cuál es tu nacionalidad?
Soy guanesa.
Soy guyanesa. And you Guyanese, remember that like we Cubans, we have two female male. Cubano, cubana. So remember, guyanés, guyanesa. Um, let's go to the foreign brothers now. Shane, ¿cuál es tu nacionalidad?
Soy Guyanese.
Ay, no. Carrie, ¿cuál es tu nacionalidad? Well, you're actually Guyanese. For those who don't know Shane's story. It's a long story. Hey, Shane, you tell them the story later. Don't make it like the promise of the KSC. If you're gonna make this, if you promise to make the story, just tell them the story. Karim,
Mi, nacional,
I just kidding, bye. Sí, Karim.
mi nacionalidad es santalucense.
Mi nacionalidad es Santa Lucense. That's it, easy. Um, ok. ¿Cuál es su fecha de nacimiento? Anybody remember what is fecha de nacimiento? Nacimiento is born, B-O-R-N. What would be fecha de nacimiento?
Date of
Where
birth.
were you?
Good. DOB, date of birth. You answer that. Nací el. I was born on. I was born. For those who have never dealt with legal documents, DOB is date of birth. Yeah, 3 persons just asked me private in the chat. So, nací el. I was born on. Yo nací el 31 de mayo de 1977. So, day, month, year, day in between, day. Just 2 persons, guys. Boy, people will be teasing you for the KSC with the rest of this academic year. Yeah, my dear. ¿Cuál es tu fecha de nacimiento?
Nací el 26 de junio de 2000.
Ay, Cálida, you did it again. 26 de junio de when?
Junio
De
7. 2007.
Cálida, you gonna catch a train or what? Take your time, girl. Oh, God. 26 de junio de 2000. I'm not even sure if I heard well. So, you said that, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I just heard Y. I didn't hear the S. My God. Otra persona. Just one, 2 persons more. The most.
Nací el 29 de agosto de 2002.
John, bye. Nací el 29 de agosto de 2002. Otra persona. ¿Cuál es su fecha de nacimiento? Fecha de nacimiento. I think that anybody knows Portuguese here. I think they say nacimiento or something like that. Nacimiento, nacimiento, nacimiento. I think, I don't know, maybe I'm mistaken. Anyhow. Otra persona. ¿Cuál es su fecha de nacimiento?
Nací el 25 de noviembre de... Sir, how you said
Tell me, I tell you.
2005 again?
2000 and what?
2005.
Uh-huh.
5.
Just like I'm going to tell you. You remember how to say thousand though? Just thousand?
Mil?
Good. So
Is mil?
2005. Just like that. 2005.
Dos, 2005.
Exactly. 2005. So 2010, 2010. Easy. 2000 and then just say the number. 2001. How is 2001? Anybody?
2001.
Good. And how is 2000?
2000.
Mhm. Well, I'm done with date of birth, guys. Fecha de nacimiento. They made a mistake. Question number 4 is the same as 3? Huh? Question number 4 and question number 3 is the same question?
No. No, sir.
This may pretend to be silly to see if you open your eyes and so no, it's not the same question. There is a difference. Just one word. Fecha and lugar. Anybody, so fecha is date. You know that already. Now, lugar is what? Wait. Cuba es un lugar.
Place.
Man, you spoiled it. So, Guyana es un lugar. Georgetown es un lugar. El Seawall es un lugar. Mi casa es un lugar. My house. So, lugar is. Yeah, you just said. Place.
Place.
Lugar is place. Then,
Place.
good, place. Instead of nací él, you say I was born in, right? So in Spanish, in is en. Nací en. Nací en Cuba. O nací en La Habana, es capital H. O nací en San José de las Lajas. That was the actual neighborhood. Or if I want to mention the hospital, nací en el Leopoldito, capital L. So it's up to you. Who want to answer? ¿Cuál es su lugar de nacimiento? Nací en and one word.
Nací in Georgetown.
Nací en George. You see, guys, this is Shane's story. And most of you didn't know it. I'm sure that none of you knew that. Nací en Georgetown. Otra persona. ¿Cuál es su lugar de nacimiento?
Nací en
Nací en Tortola. Otra persona. British will
Nací
deny last
en
guys.
Westminster.
Well, I cannot spell that, but that. Muy bien, muy bien. Otra persona. ¿Cuál es su lugar de nacimiento?
Nací en Georgetown.
Ok, muy bien. Nací en Georgetown. So that's it, guys. The difference between questions 3 and 4 is that question 3 is nací el, question 3, and then the date. And question 4 is nací en, and then lugar, which is place. Okay? Okay? How do you read it? ¿Cuál es su... Let me read born. O birth. Nacimiento. nacimiento. Entonces, ¿cuál es su fecha de nacimiento? ¿Cuál es su lugar de nacimiento? Now, number 5, dirección. My address is Middle Road, número 112, Georgetown. And I told you that I don't want complicated addresses, guys, the scheme and blocks and in front of the blue car and next to the rotten tree. Just make up any easy address, street, number, village or city, done. I can translate all the addresses that you want. Some wouldn't even have a translation into Spanish. So make up any easy address. I'm not. I mean, I'm an educator. I have to educate you. I cannot encourage you to lie. I'm not telling you to lie. I'm telling you that for the sake of simplicity, because what's the point to translate that complicated address, that scheme block in front of the tree next to the cemetery? So street, the lot, not lot and street, street and lot. I mean, street, avenue, road, and then the village, the town, the city, whatever. So, two persons. ¿Cuál es su dirección? Pound sounds means número. We don't say lot. Lot, which is lote in Spanish, we don't use lote. We use the word number, número. So, ¿cuál es su dirección? Number 5.
Sir,
Señor.
vivo en Durban Street, número 64, Georgetown.
I don't understand the street.
Durban.
Oh, my God. I don't understand that. So, vivo en Durban Street, número
Yeah.
64, Georgetown. Easy peasy. Otra persona. ¿Cuál es su dirección? It's not direction, guys. Well, I mean, dirección means direction too, but not in this case. In this case, dirección is address. ¿Cuál es su dirección?
Mi dirección es Universidad de Guyana.
Yeah, for giving the UG address, we usually say Turkine campus, because remember the University of Guyana has the 10 campus in Berbice. So, University of Guyana, Turkine campus, Greater Georgetown. That's the actual address of UG. University of Guyana, Turkine campus, Greater Georgetown. That's it. UG has an address even. You think we don't. Yeah. Yeah, but it's okay. Mi dirección es Universidad de Guyana. Nobody's gonna write you a letter. Whoever, once they are KFC, they will go straight to the dorms and they will find you there. So, but you and get best me teasing you all the time about that. You know that's just a joke, right? Just a joke. Otra persona. ¿Cuál es su dirección?
Dirección es
Ajá.
3609 Westminster.
369 o 3000.
Yes.
369. Well,
Sí, señor.
you have to say the because is West what again? Say it slowly for me, please.
Westminster.
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 Minister like minister,
Minister.
like
Like
minister,
minister.
like the minister from
Yeah.
the ministry. Oh, and what is that?
Yes, yes. Like minister.
What is that?
Is in region 3.
Oh, in region 3.
How can I explain this?
Oh,
It's just like how we got villages and thing. That's the name of my village, Westminster.
that's where good people live. Okay.
Both.
I know, everywhere. I saw something on Facebook today, and and I was like, oh God, people label. Um, yeah, but in this case, David, even Westminster is the name of the village for any tradition that we have in Spanish. You should put, I mean, you should consider that Westminster is a street that though it's not, and then you would add, I don't know, Region 3 or any other bigger administrative demarcation. So because in Spanish it's not normal that you put the number first. So
Okay.
even if you live in, remember that I told you guys the example of Atlanticville. So you live in Atlanticville, any 88, the one random lot that come to my mind. 88 Atlanticville. Atlanticville is not, it's not a road, it's the name of the village. So in Spanish we would say Atlanticville número 88, East Coast de Merara. So same thing. Just say it like that. Because 369 Westminster, that sounds awkward in Spanish. I mean, it's not normal. That doesn't, if that doesn't follow Spanish rules for addresses and so. Okay, boy. So that's it, guys. Oh God, don't make me practice number 6. ¿Cuál es su número de teléfono? Número de teléfono and just teléfono is the same. Mi teléfono es 654-6993. Billions, ¿cuál es su teléfono?
Mi teléfono es 6593402.
Ok. Alisa, ¿cuál es su teléfono?
Mi teléfono 1234567.
Mi teléfono es, remember guys, my telephone number is, so mi teléfono es. Well, and the last one, ¿cuál es su estado civil? Estado civil es marital status. So, soy soltero, soy casado, soy divorciado. Soltero, casado o divorciado. Female versions, soy casada, soy soltera, soy divorciada. ¿Ok? Oh my God, quickly. Two persons. ¿Cuál es su estado civil? What's your marital status? Quickly, we have to
Soy
finish.
soltero.
Soy soltero. Girls, write down. The good people from Westminster and is single. Otra persona. ¿Cuál es su estado civil? Well, you said yourself that there is everything, so we don't know if you are the good or the bad. ¿Cuál es su estado civil? Oh, God. Shane, ¿cuál es su estado civil? ¿Eres soltero, casado o divorciado?
Soy casado. I mean,
Soy.
soy soltero.
How quick you correct yourself. Rachel, ¿eres soltera, casada o divorciada? ¿Cuál es tu estado civil?
Soy soltera.
Antoine, ¿cuál es tu estado civil?
Soy soltero.
Soy soltero. Karim, you quiet, bye. I don't know what's wrong with you, bye. ¿Cuál es su estado civil?
Soy divorciado.
The voice that works now. Okay, Mahendra, ¿y tú? ¿Cuál es? I asked you already, sorry, no, I don't think so. ¿Cuál es tu estado civil?
Soy soltero.
Gabriela, ¿cuál es tu estado civil? ¿Eres soltera, casada o divorciada?
¿Es usted soltero?
No, no, love, soy.
¿Es usted
No,
soltera?
no, no, just soy and then soltera.
Soy soltera?
Love, just say soy and then say soltera. Soy means I am.
Soy soltera.
Perfect, perfect. Quick question before I finish. How do you say I have a boyfriend? Boyfriend.
Soy
Tengo
novio.
novio.
Tengo novio. How do you say I have
Tengo novio.
tengo novio? How do you say I have a girlfriend?
Tengo novio.
Tengo novio again.
Vía.
No,
Tengo novia.
Tengo novia. Tengo novio. Tengo novia. That's the
Answer.
what?
I have another class right now at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, go ahead. I will mark your name, but you Galan, it's okay. I know that you were here. Actually,
Sir, I
I'm gonna finish in one
also have a
minute.
class.
Is who Kali? Okay. Actually, I will finish just now. Okay, you can go, guys. You can go.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. And the second entrevista, guys, is if you like to do things. And I will not take too long here because answering this is absolutely easy. Te gusta means do you like? So I will tell you what is each one of these 10. One, watch television.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah?
I have to leave class.
Okay, Shanik, yo. Okay, no problem. Chao, chao. Cenar en restaurantes, eat in restaurants. Pescar, fish. Bailar en discotecas, dance in a disco. Cocinar, cook. Viajar en carro, travel in a car. Escuchar música, listening to music. Escribir mensajes electrónicos, write emails. Sacar fotos, take pictures. Y trabajar en el jardín, work in the garden. So if I ask you, ¿te gusta? Do you like any of these activities? You simply have to answer sí, me gusta, and you repeat what I ask you. So let's try with one or two. Pescar, fish, number 3. ¿Te gusta pescar? You tell me. Sí, me gusta pescar, or no, no me gusta pescar. So let's try with 5. ¿Te gusta cocinar? Do you like to cook? Anyone who can reply that question. ¿Te gusta cocinar?
Sí, me gusta cocinar.
Okay. Sí, me gusta cocinar. Yes, I like to cook. So, how I can say no, I don't like to cook.
No me gusta cocinar.
Perfecto. No me gusta cocinar. So the key is me gusta doing this o no me gusta doing that. That's
Sir,
all the entrevista too. Yeah.
how do you say you like going to the gym?
Ir al gimnasio. Ir al gimnasio. ¿Te gusta ir al gimnasio?
Sí, me gusta ir al Gimnasio.
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 Oh, muy bien. I would like to go, but I don't find time. I make excuses. Anyhow. So, guys, yes. Any question about, because I really went too quick, I mean, over this set of questions, but I don't think that I need too much time to practice this. Actually, yeah, probably we can spend some time practicing it, but it's just, ¿te gusta doing this? And you tell me gusta doing this or no me gusta doing that. So any question about this second entrevista?
No, sir.
Okay, okay. Let me try quickly. One question that is not there. ¿Te gusta hablar español? Anybody? ¿Te gusta hablar español?
Sí, me gusta hablar español.
Soy tac. Sí, me gusta hablar español. So if you don't like to talk Spanish, how do you say no I don't like to talk Spanish? Guys, anybody writing in the WhatsApp group, Sir is still with group 11, he will start just now. Please, somebody write that in the group, please. So I don't like to speak Spanish.
No me gusta. How I say that? You don't like Spanish
Hablar,
again?
hablar.
Hablar español.
No me gusta hablar español. That's it. And guys, always remember that there is an audio CD, and in this audio CD, pista 3, track 3 is the first entrevista, and track 4 is the second entrevista. And if you want to see what we, because it is we, the lecturer from the department who did this CD, what we are saying, you can download the PDF, which is a transcription, and you can print it. It's just a few pages. I think no more than 10. I don't remember, but it's no more than 10.